What is up, my special being brothers and sisters? Today we got the world's, or actually I should say Earth's strongest man in the house, Krillin from Dragon Ball Z, S.H.figuarts. I finally got him and I'm ready to bust him out of the package and get him on the rotating stand. Alright guys, let's get started.
One's a company, two's a crowd, three's a party coming, move around like the first rush when the school is out, when the booze is up, when the sun is down, enjoy the ride.
Okay guys, here we have the Earth's strongest man, Krillin, the one and only, best friend to Goku, the one that has always been down there, down for whatever. Even though he's just an Earthling, he's always been down for it, down the ride. Let's do it. Oh, we finna die. I might be scared, but I'm gonna still go on and get to it and get through it. Okay, so now we got formalities out of the way. Aesthetics wise, my boy Krillin looks really, really good. This is a step in the right direction for Tamashii Nations. This is, I'm telling you, everything about it is just awesome. The way how they handled the new mold, the new, articulation, and how they handled the shoulder, I would say, pads right there, how they're connected. It's not your traditional, one piece. It's actually cut into two pieces. So the blue gi underneath his orange gi is actually separate. And we'll get into that a little bit once we get into the articulation. And everything about this figure works. As long as they keep making figures that are just like a replica of this and just a little bit, more to scale, then, they'll be knocking figures out of the park. Everything about this figure right off the jump is really good. Let's get Krillin off of the rotating stand and into the articulation. Okay, first things first, we start from head to toe. So he can look up about that much. I mean, you'll probably have to, mess with it. And then he could look down about that much, which is pretty good. His neck can move a little bit from side to side, but as you can see, mine is just a little bit stiff. He can turn his head accordingly, but like I said, mine is a little bit stiff. As you can hear that squeaking, that's not good. So I'm gonna have to put him in some hot water lately, but later on, so you guys kind of get the gist. Articulation, the new articulation that we have right here at the shoulders is really, really good. As you can see, the orange and the blue are two separate pieces. I don't know if you can kind of see that right there. Two separate pieces. So he's able to lift his arm out that much, and you can kind of see right there on the inside that the orange is indeed different and separate from the actual blue gi. And this is a soft like plastic. It's not an actual mold that they put on. It's actually soft plastic. So that feels really good. Bicep at the swivel, and he's able to cross his arms. If you just kind of like move this accordingly, he can cross his arm pretty good. Let me see. I had it earlier. There you go. Cross his arm pretty good like that. Let's see if he has the bends at the elbows. He does. My boy does hit them curls. Let's see, wrist action right here, all 360 and up and down like we see with everybody else. So the new abdomen that we have is kind of cut into like, like a upper shape than it is just like, a slash kind of through the middle. So let's see how much range we can get. Pretty good range. Let's see how much back. Let's see. Not that much good, like on back on the way how it folds back, but it's okay. One thing to kind of know, I am starting to see some, defects right here. It's already starting to rub, so just kind of be careful of that. It wasn't on there before, but I noticed when I started bending him backwards and frontwards, they started to show up. So that's a little bit of a bummer. Articulation right here at the belt goes side to side like it should. Let's see, his leg can go up about that much. Other one as well. Goes up about that much. Let's see on his thigh swivel. Yep. Thigh swivels like that. Bends at the knee. Come on, you can do it. Oh. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. Come on, guys. You got to keep your stuff together. Probably might super glue that in later. But anyways, without the piece falling off, it bends like that. And then right here, we just have some foot articulation. Goes back that much, and it goes forward that much. And then you have some toe articulation. So that's it for the articulation on the homie Krillin. I'm going to set them off to the side, and then we'll get into those accessories. Okay, guys, first things first, we always start with the headpieces. So first up, we have, let's see, his face where he's kind of like screaming out. Looks really good. Next up is him just kind of like looking like scared, kind of like you know? So that looks really good. Came out really, really nice. I love the facial expressions that they're kind of doing now that Tamashii Nations is kind of spitting out. So this looks really, really good. I'm thinking I might get another one just to have him just posed in with this headpiece. This is a really good headpiece. I like the depiction of Krillin with this one. And then we have the standard kind of like looking off. Oops, if I don't drop it. Like kind of like looking off to the side. So that's that right there. Let's see. Looks pretty nice. The next piece of accessory we're going to start with is the hands. All right, so first pair of hands we get are these kind of like open palm hands, you know, blast hands or grab hands. Next is these kind of ready hands that he has. He has a good amount of hands that he comes with. Let me see if I can. There you go. These kind of like ready hands, so that's pretty cool. Another pair of like open palm hands, but these are kind of like more, the fingertips are kind of like more bent, especially right there at the fingers. So maybe these are like Kamehameha hands. And then the next hands we get are for when he's performing his solar flare, or he could just copy Goku and do the instant transmission. Next one, or the next pair of hands that we have are these hands that have the slotted holes, so that way he can connect the other effect piece. And I do have a problem with this, and it probably is just only me, but I'll get into that as soon as I get done talking about this one. Now, this is going to be one of my favorite hands that I'm going to have him posed with because, I mean, this is like a staple for Krillin. This dude has always been the bean bag holder since, what, the Android Saga? Like, from the Android Saga all the way to the Cell Saga, my boy was never left without this. My dude said, forget the ID, forget my driver's license. I can't leave the house without this bag, you know? And he's always been the Sensu beanbag holder. So, kudos. And then last but not least is this, his Tienzan, which is a Destructo Disc effect piece that we get. So that looks pretty nice. But I don't know if this might just only be me or maybe it fell out of the box, but I doubt it. But my effect piece did not come with the peg to put it on his hand. You know, as you can see, it's not present. So I'm left without him holding, you know, his signature move. So that really sucks. Like, it was nowhere in the box to be found. I looked everywhere on the floor when I took them out. And it's not like I take them out like a monster or anything. It's just I take all of my figures out carefully and it was not there. So I'm pretty bummed. Not a deal breaker. I mean, I have so many like accessories and things that I could just probably peg that up with, you know, but that really sucks. Like, Homie can't hold his signature move. Okay. Let's get into the next segment, which is my final thoughts. Okay, here we have Krillin in his most like signature way that I always picture him. Like when somebody says, hey yo, what do you think of Krillin? This is exactly what comes to mind and the exact image of what comes to mind when I think of Krillin. Not knocking him and saying that he's not important or saying that, you know, he's a lame or whatever. He is a simp. He is a simp. Let's you know, homeboy try to revive 18, you know, and try to do what he had to do. But with that being said, this is what I think of when they ask me about Krillin. Still a dope guy, still a dope figure, but since I couldn't put him in a nice dynamic pose with the Tienzan, the Destructo disc, this was the alternative pose, which I'm happy with this. Don't get me wrong, but I think I will be ordering a new one only because he's fairly cheap. I think around 40 or 50 bucks. So, you know, I will be picking up another one just so that I can have him pose with the Destructo disc. Plus, I need a Namek one and an Android Saga one. So I don't know why I didn't get two. I don't know.
Alright guys, that's going to wrap this video up on Krillin. Let me know in the comment section below if he's going to be a pass or a grab for some of you. Major Piccolo shout out to everybody supporting since day one. And like I've said, the channel is lazy, but the movement ain't.
Open for plans tonight.